G'day guys, and welcome back to another video here on the Torq YouTube channel. We're back with my mate Rob and my mate Rob's 1-tonner. We've labelled it the Turbo Tonner. So as we said in the last episode, we're going to get into doing the cam swap. Now this thing already has a cam upgrade, but the cam that it has is not going to be any good for forced induction. There's going to be too much overlap on the valves. So stick around while we get stuck into it. We're going to swap the cam. I'm going to show you how we measure our piston to valve clearance as well. This has had some decking done on the heads, so to make sure that we have the adequate clearance, we're just going to measure it. But yeah, stick around.
Alright guys, so what we're going to do, we're going to start off by removing the front bumper. Obviously then we're going to pull out the radiator. We can do this cam swap with the aircon condenser in, so that's what we're going to do. We'll end up stringing it up from the bonnet, that way we don't have to degas the AC system. Then we've got to pull all the accessories off the front of the engine, and we'll come back and show you what we've done. Let's get stuck into the parts. Alright, so making pretty good progress. As you can see, we've sort of strung up the condenser here so that it's out of the way for when we pull the camshaft out. And Rob is just pulling the Rio bar off the front once again so that we can pull the cam out. But yeah, radiator's out. Next thing will be take a bunch of the accessories off. So it'll be water pump, balancer, and maybe that idler pulley might be in the way as well, so we can get to the timing cover. Alright, more progress. So we've got the harmonic balancer and the water pump all off, so we can get to the timing cover. That'll be the next thing. Now is we'll remove the timing cover bolts that are all around there, and yeah, then we'll reveal the timing set and the oil pump. From there we will then start taking the rocker covers and the rocker gear off. Let's get back into it. Alright, so as you just saw in the time lapse, we managed to get the timing cover off. So you can see here, just there, we've got our oil pump, and we're going to be replacing that as well as our timing set. So that's the cam gear there. On most of your LS cam videos, all you'll see people do is just unbolting that cam gear there, slip the cam out, putting the new cam in and putting it back together. But because we are going to be putting a turbo on this, and we want to make sure that we maintain good oil pressure with the turbo on the system as well, we're going to be upgrading to a Mellings Oil Pump. So you'll see that shortly. There's a bit of a trick to it because, I don't know, yeah, you can just see there's a bolt there just on the pickup. Now you can't get to that unless we drop the sump down. So there'll be a little bit of shenanigans there trying to get that pickup bolt off so that we can change the oil pump, but we've got a couple of tricks. The rocker gear and push rods are all off, and you can see inside this engine is so nice and clean, and it's a low kilometer engine. It's only done about 90,000 Ks, but you can see that it has been really well looked after. So what we're going to be doing next is we've already pulled the rocker gear and the push rods out, so we'll be changing all of the valve springs on the heads to ones to suit the new cam. And once we've done that, then we'll be changing the camshaft. So let's get back into it. Well, you might be able to see behind me, we've got a couple of the valve springs done, but we did get a late start today and probably a little bit longer than we should have for lunch. So we're going to call it for today, but it's all good. We're just going to pick up again tomorrow, first thing in the morning. And we're back. Another morning, bright and early. I'm wearing the same grubby clothes because I'm going to be doing the same grubby job. So let's get back into it, change these valve springs and the cam. sweet. So as you just saw there, we just got all of the valve springs done and they're looking mint, absolutely minty fresh. So the next port of call is going to be, we're going to pull the oil pump off, which is just there. Oil pump, then the timing set, and then pull the cam out, and then we'll reverse the process by putting new cam, new timing set, and new oil pump. So let's get stuck into that. Alright, so now you can see we've got the old cam out and we've put in the new oil pump. You can probably see we had some minor issues with the pickup. Not so much issues, just the pickup bolt was really difficult to get to. You can see that we stuffed a rag into the sump just so that it wouldn't drop in there. But overall, pretty easy. So that is a Mellings standard volume pump, but with slightly higher pressure relief spring. And that'll help us with supplying good oil pressure to our turbo. So now it's time to, so that's the new timing chain there, and the new timing gear on the crank has already been installed. But yeah, now it's time to put in the new camshaft. Exciting times. Right on, so as you saw, cam is in. Happy days. Cam is in, new oil pump is in, new valve springs are done, and now we're going to show you how we're going to check our piston to valve clearance. Because these heads have had 50 thou taken off them, and this new cam has some advanced ground into it as well as more lift than the previous. We just want to make sure that we have proper clearance throughout the whole dynamic range of the engine rotation. So that means intake manifold off, heads off, so that exhaust manifold will come off, heads off, and we'll be putting some plasticine on the pistons, rotate the motor, and measure what our clearance is. So stand by for that. Righto, so you would have seen in the time lapse there that we removed the heads. So next thing that we're going to be doing is a piston to valve clearance. So what we're going to do is we've cleaned up number 1 cylinder, which is here at top dead center. We're going to put a little bit of plasticine, so that could be any old plasticine really. I'll just find where, here it is. It's basically like Play-Doh, plasticine, modeling clay, whatever you like. And we're going to put that across the face of the piston. Then we're going to put the head back on with the push rods and the rockers and rotate the engine a couple of rotations, pull the head back off again, and we will measure how much valve clearance we have, minimum valve clearance we have at any rotation of the motor. So yeah, we'll let you know how we go.
How much you touched?
So, a little bit of a surprising result if we're honest. This is what we've found after running the motor over 2 full rotations. We've lifted the head and you can see where we've cut away the plasticine there, and on the intake side we have definitely touched the piston. It's a little bit of a bummer, isn't it, Rob?
Yes and no. We just got to do it properly, mate.
Yeah, so now we're at a bit of a crossroads. We were thinking if we needed a little bit of extra clearance, we could go to a thicker head gasket, but this is too far. So now, yeah, what can I say? So, it's a bit of a conundrum. We've got to have a bit of a staff meeting and
Executive meeting.
figure out what's next. So, yeah, 3 options. Thicker head gasket, not really an option. Change the cam, possible, prefer not to.
We don't like bitch sticks.
New heads. Heads that haven't been decked, maybe something with a fancy bit of CNC loving. Or fly cut the pistons. So we need to weigh up price, availability, time, and
performance. So these are all the things that we need to work out, and yeah, but for now, like I say, we got to have a staff meeting, we'll do some thinking, and we'll get back to you. So keep watching, make sure you lightly tap that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up for Rob's heartbreak. Look at him.
Because we need all the help we can get right now.
Poor fella. Poor fella. But for now, guys, thanks again for watching, and we'll see you on the next episode of the Turbo Tunner.